Hello everybody. So this is a very big update from my 34-week and 3-day checkup that I had yesterday, the 26th. I had a non-stress test, and then I had an ultrasound, and then I had a regular checkup. Sorry if you hear Allison, she's going to be playing back here. But I had 3 appointments yesterday. The first 2, the non-stress test and the ultrasound, they went perfect, they went great. The non-stress test, it was the fastest one that I've had, and I think it was my 6th one. I think I'm 3 weeks into it now. Perfect. She sounded great. They seen what they needed to see, and then I went on to my ultrasound. And at the ultrasound, she was in a very bad position to have growth measurement done. She's not head down, she's breech, which I know breech means head up, but she's not head up, she's laying sideways. And I know there's a technical term for that, I just can't think of it. But she is not head down. Her head is over on my right side with her spine going. She's like laying on her belly, facing down, and her legs and everything are stood on the right side. I think that's how they were at my last. I think I remember talking about that in my last video. But so she's measuring her head and measuring her legs, and Elena was really scrunched up in there. I mean, you could imagine laying like that, and her feet were above her head. So I don't think she got a very good or accurate measurement of Elena's belly, but her belly is measuring at over 40 weeks. And I'm only 34 weeks. I'll be 35 weeks on Monday. And they guesstimated her at 6 pounds 14 ounces. And there's the 1 pound margin of error one way or the other. So it could be 7 pounds 14 ounces or 5 pounds 14 ounces. But a month ago at the last growth ultrasound that I had, she was 3 pounds 14 ounces. And in 1 month, she like doubled that. But and I know towards the end they're supposed to gain like a half a pound a week. And if it was 5 pounds 14 ounces, then she perfectly gained a half a pound a week from last month. Oh, sorry about that phone call. So the issue was, after she got done, of course she was saying she's a pretty big baby, and she goes to measure the fluid, and I pay attention so much during all the ultrasounds that I have, and every time I've had a growth ultrasound, I think this is my 3rd or 4th one that I've had so far, the fluid just seems like less and less. But I know that's because, you know, baby's getting bigger. But yesterday was like, I don't see very much fluid in there at all. So, and she said, yeah, it is. It looks kind of low. So then immediately after that, I had my regular checkup. And the great thing about going to the hospital and having your ultrasounds done there, your blood work done there, everything done there, and seeing your doctor there, all the information is there. Nothing has to be sent from another office to there. It's right there. They just access it on a computer. So I'm seen by the doctors, and they said her fluid is getting low and she's getting big. So sorry about that. So they want to take her at 37 weeks. Yeah. So, like 2 weeks from now, and, on June 13th, it's a Monday morning, I will go in to have an amniocentesis done to see if her lungs are mature enough, and if so, depending on her position, if she is not head down during that procedure, then I will be scheduled for a C-section a day or 2 after that. And if she is head down, then I will be scheduled to be induced a day or two after that. The reason for the C-section would be the amount of fluid, the position of the baby, and where my placenta is not favorable for the technique of them trying to manually move her head down. It's not favorable. So if she's not head down on Monday for the amnio, C-section is inevitable. And if her lungs are not mature on the 13th at 37 weeks, then they will repeat it in a week at 38 weeks and go from there. But I think that her lungs will be okay, but you never know. And it's still just I know I only had like 4 weeks left, but I feel like someone told me I'm going to have my baby tomorrow. They might as well just told me I'm going to have my baby tomorrow. I'm like, I didn't cry there. I focused. I was by myself. I stayed focused because I didn't want to forget anything that was said, so that I would be able to relay it to my mother, who was here with Allison and Derek when he got home from work. So I focused and I asked her a ton of questions, and she said, "You ask really good questions." And I asked all the questions that I could ask. I was the last appointment of the day, and I made sure I took advantage of it. I used all the time that I could with the doctor, and asked her a lot of questions about a lot of different scenarios that could go one way or the other. Like, for example, the low fluid. 2 weeks from now, it could possibly be lower. What happens if you can't find a pocket for the amnio to take fluid out? I was just asking all kind of questions. But, so yeah. And for my last appointment 2 weeks ago, I gained 14 pounds, which is basically a pound a day. Baby gained 3, I gained 14, but I have a lot of swelling in my legs and in my feet by the end of the day, not throughout the day, not all the time, and not my face so much. I think a little bit in my face by the end of the day. My hands don't swell at all. So I think that's a lot of water weight gain there. So as of now, officially at 34 weeks and 4 days, I have gained 2 pounds from pre-pregnancy weight. And today marks 18 days until the amniocentesis, so yeah, 18 days, possibly, if they induce me the next day after that, 19 or 20 days until the baby will be here. We'll hopefully be able to come home. I don't want her to have to spend any time in the NICU. I don't want her to be away from me for a second. But another issue, let me check my time here. So, okay. The main issue that scares me is I am on Lovenox, the anticoagulant injections. If I am not off of those in time, within 36 hours, I cannot have an epidural for C-section or induction, which means if she's still not head down and I have to be C-section, I can't get an epidural. I have to be knocked out with a tube in my throat, and not be awake when she's born. That's the one thing that scares me the most. I'm not scared of the C-section if I'm awake. I prepared myself for that with Allison, because I could have sworn I was going to end up with a C-section with her. I'm not afraid of the C-section. I just don't want to miss that moment. But if it has to happen, that's how it has to happen. And the same thing if I'm not off of my Lovenox within 36 hours and I have to be induced. I can't have an epidural. And I have to deal with all the pain and the pushing and everything with no pain reliever. So, that's those are my main worries. And I've already had the talk with Derek about if something were to happen to me. We talked about that when I was pregnant with Allison, just because I like to talk. I don't want something to happen to me and then him not know what I would have wanted. So we talked about that again. And he asked me a few different scenarios, like what would I want him to do and everything, because there's a bleeding risk with me. So, but I am in the greatest hospital that I can possibly be in, delivering this baby. So, and the doctors and everyone reassured me and told me, don't lose any sleep over this. You're going to be fine, and you're in the greatest hospital for this and everything. So, I was calm yesterday during the appointment. On the ride home from the appointment, I held it in because there was too many emotions to try to cry and drive. But when I got home, I just wanted Allison. I just wanted to hold my baby. I wanted her so bad. And when I sat down and told my mom, don't freak out. I'm okay, the baby's okay, but the baby's going to be here sooner than we think. And she got excited at first, but then as I explained it to her, she started to get a little worried. And she held it in, she didn't freak out, but her eyes got red and watery, and she probably cried here after she left, but yeah. And that was like the only time I cried. Well, this morning I was a little upset. I peeked in on Allison when she was sleeping, and it just got me. Like, I only have 2 weeks left with just her as an only child, and I don't want her to feel, I don't want it to be a traumatic experience for her. I don't want it to be, Mommy's in the hospital for a week or longer, where's Mommy, and we have to go visit her, and then all of a sudden Mommy comes home and there's a new baby. I just don't, I want it to be as easy for her as possible. But I'm just gonna miss it being just her. I'm not missing the, oh, it's easy just to have one kid and two's gonna be really hard. That's not what I mean. It's I love her just the way she is, and I don't want her having a sibling to change her in a negative way. That's why I don't want it to be like a traumatic experience, but we just don't know what's going to happen. I don't like the what if and the I don't really know factor of everything, but I just hope she turns. I'm going to try to do some things to help naturally turn her. I know of some stretches and exercise moves and just lots of walking that I will hope will help turn her head down. Let me check my time again. Oh, goodness me. But after all that, it's like, okay, like the littlest problems that I have are like no problems at all because of something like this, you know. So then, I don't think I updated on this. Derek, he had 2 jobs. He worked one in the morning and a night shift, and he was only home for 2 hours in the middle of the day. That's all we had with him all day long. Well, he quit the morning job. So, that cuts our income in like half. And we're not too worried about it, but we're worried about it. And we had 4 weeks left to buy the last few things that we needed. And now we only have 2 weeks or less left, which I'll explain that in a second. So my mother was nice enough to take me to the store and buy a few things for us to ease my mind, to ease a little bit of stress, and it really did. It really did ease a lot of stress. But we got things like some Binks and a little grooming kit with the aspirator and then the medicine dropper thing, and some hangers and cotton balls for the cord care, hand sanitizer, baby lotion, baby powder, baby shampoo, things like that is things that I needed to have when the baby came home. But back to 2 weeks or less was they told me that since she is, her belly is measuring at a full-term sized baby's belly and the fluid is low, it may trigger labor. And that if I am feeling contractions that are continuous for an hour or longer, to immediately, the first thing to do, they want me to stop my Lovenox shots immediately, because I want to be off of them for 36 hours or more to be able to get an epidural and be awake if I have a C-section, or just to get an epidural while I'm in labor. So, but I really think that's all I wanted to talk about. I don't want this video to be too long, but yeah, so we will have a baby possibly the week of June 13th, sometime that week, or the following week if her lungs aren't mature. But I am definitely going to keep everybody updated on this. I didn't tell anybody on Facebook because it was a lot to explain. It's like a really lot to explain. And I really hope I'm not missing anything. Any questions that I asked or anything. But if anybody else has any questions about this, feel free to ask me. I don't mind trying to answer. Or if anybody has any stories that maybe they had a similar situation going on, please share. I'm not scared, but I'm not scared, but I'm like, I'm excited, but it's a mixed emotion of everything. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be a crazy bad situation or if it's going to be smooth and fine. So that's where I'm at right now with the whole thing. But as of now, our plans are to kick it into high gear and get everything that we need ready around the house ready, like the bassinet and everything like that, all ready to go. It's still packed up in the basement from when Allison was born, so that needs to be brought up and cleaned and everything, and get the few last minute little things together. Also, my other worry was breastfeeding. If she's early, I hope she's able to latch on. I'm really looking forward to breastfeeding. I don't want that for me to not even just not have the opportunity to do that at all. So, if you have that situation, please share what happened there. But, okay, this video is probably way long enough anyways, and thank you for watching and listening and commenting and caring and sharing. But I will update again. I have another appointment in 2 weeks on June 8th to be seen by my doctor again, and we'll probably discuss more about the induction or the amnio that's gonna happen a few days after that. So I'll probably update around the 8th or so. So thanks everybody for watching, and see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye.